and welcome once again to the India Today Goa Roundtable, where the big question to be asked is who will be Goa's party number one? And the battle for that party number one spot is, as of now at least, according to most political observers, between the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and the primary opposition, the Congress Party. So we've got both the parties here today. From the Congress Party, Dinesh Gundurao, its General Secretary in charge of Goa, from Karnataka, of course, neighboring state, and Mr. Narendra Sawaikar, who was till recently the Member of Parliament from South Goa of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you both very much for joining us here. Am I right to say that you are the challenger, Mr. Gundurao? They are the party in power. They've been 10 years in power, and you have struggled to displace them. Even last time when you were the party number one in Goa in 2017, at the end of the day, it was the BJP that formed the government. So the impression is, कांग्रेस को बीजेपी को हराना मुश्किल है गोवा में. Do you concede that?
As you said, Rajdeep, in the 2017 election, it was the Congress which won that election, and the BJP lost the election. Ultimately, how the governments were formed was a different matter altogether, but we were the number one party. And I would say that this time, despite all those things that have happened to see that the Congress is weakened, I think we've emerged stronger, and we will see that, yes, we are the challenger to BJP. There's no other challenger to BJP, but I think this time we will get a clear-cut majority, and we will be able to form the government.
Mr. Sawaikar, do you believe that in 2022 you are facing 10 years of anti-incumbency? Not 5, but 10 years. And your tallest leader, Manohar Bhai Parrikar, is also no longer there. So you are a vulnerable party at the moment. There is a strong undercurrent against the BJP in Goa.
I totally disagree, Mr. Rajdeep, for the simple reason, because for last 10 years, BJP has been in the power in the state. And considering our performance from last 10 years as a ruling party, and considering our performance in the various sectors like infrastructure, health, education, and all these sectors, I'm quite sure and confident, as you have said it, that there is an undercurrent, but I totally disagree with you, and I'm quite confident, and Bharatiya Janata Party is all set to form the next government in 2022.
You know, you say that you cited sectors. Infrastructure, many will concede the BJP government here has made efforts, particularly with roads. But when I look at health, you mentioned health. You're saying health in a state where Goa suffered oxygen deaths in your main hospital here. And your health minister and chief minister were fighting each other instead of resolving the problems of Goenkars.
I think that issue has already been resolved. And it was an unprecedented kind of a thing which entire world has suffered because of the pandemic. And Goa, with whatever the resources that it had at its disposal, we have overcome all the difficulties that we faced that time. I'm quite sure whatever the best kind of health facilities that we have been able to provide to the Goenkars, that we have been providing to the people.
Almost 1 in 4 Goenkars are unemployed. Tourism sector collapsed because of the pandemic. Mining sector has not been revived. Are these not issues? You're not worried. You seem to believe that there is no anger, no sense of discontent at the moment.
Mr. Rajdeep, as I have said it, because of the pandemic, as you have said it, that there were some difficulties that the tourism sector did suffer in Goa. But so far as the mining is concerned, we have come out with the mining policy. Secondly, we have also established the mining corporation, and in the next few months, definitely it will be in place, and the mining will resume in the state.
You know, Dinesh Gundurao, the BJP is seemingly confident because they believe Congress is its own worst enemy. You were the single largest last time, as you said earlier, 17 seats, but in the 5 years, 15 of your MLAs left the Congress party, joined various parties. So there's a trust deficit. Number of people fear that vote for the Congress, but what will happen after the election? Where will the congressman go? The very fact that you had to take your MLAs or prospective MLAs to a temple, a church, a dargah and swear that they will not defect, what does that suggest?
See, there are two ways of looking at it. First, I'll come to your last point first. It suggests that we have a party in India today which is so unprincipled that it will go to any extent to ensure MLAs defect, parties are split, governments are broken. They will use any institution to see that, they come to power by any means. So it's an unprincipled party that is ruling the country today. Not only Goa, we've seen it in Rajasthan, we've seen it in Karnataka, we've seen it in Madhya Pradesh, in Northeast, in many governments. So this is a party which is just feeding off, using all the.
Now, how come your MLAs are so susceptible?
It's
You
not
are
a
saying,
question. It's not
you
a
are
question of
saying
being
that
susceptible.
their party is unprincipled, but it also suggests that your MLAs are very weak.
No, what I'm trying to say is the fault is also, I accept, there is a fault on our side, but look at the politics that the BJP is doing. It uses IT, ED, threats, blackmails to ensure that governments fall. That is one thing. Second thing is, the more important point is that today Congress has changed itself. We had to convince the people of Goa that we will not allow this to happen again. So we said these defectors, many of them wanted to come back to Congress this election. We said there is no chance for you guys. Our doors are shut for you. And even amongst the sitting MLAs, we had one former CM whose sons had joined BJP. We sidelined him long ago, Mr. Ravi Naik. So we started building up another candidate there. So we have 80% of our candidates are new candidates, young people, good people. Many of them are activists. Many of them have done work in the in social sector. And we've got
Are they
good.
electable?
See,
Are they electable? In
see,
Goa, you need money power sometimes to win elections, Dinesh
See,
Gundurao.
today the old Congress is in the BJP. This fight is between the new Congress and the old Congress. All the old Congress they have, in a way, our Congress has been cleaned up, and all the elements which are corrupt, which are using, which have got no principles, no ideology, are all with them. And today, I don't know what BJP is. Today, within their own BJP, if you speak to their cadre, and even speaking to their own RSS cadre also, they are fed up of BJP. They are saying, what is BJP today in Goa? We can't recognize the BJP. So our Congress is a new Congress. We've got great candidates, young candidates, good candidates, and that is what we're going to the people with. Let's clean up Goa. Let's change Goa. Let's bring in a new politics into Goa. I think that is the mandate that we are looking for.
Interesting, Mr. Sawaikar. The new BJP is the old Congress. Number of people are saying this is a new BJP. Only 4 of your 40 candidates are originally BJP people. You have done Sam, Dam, Danda, Bhed politics in Goa for the last 8 years or 10 years to stay in power. And now the chickens have come home to roost. Because in every constituency that I have gone to, there is either a BJP rebel or someone who has switched because they are upset that this is a new BJP that has no time for the old party cadre.
You see, in 2012, when we contested the elections, we came out with as a single largest party.
You got a majority,
We got a majority. So afterwards, in 2017, we again formed the government. Now there are Congress people who joined the party. Now, as you have said it, those people, they have joined the party because they said because of the development, because of the principles that they believed in. Now you say that since they have joined BJP, they are unprincipled. For 3 years back, they were all your people. So I think now that BJP has offered them the ticket and they are contesting on the BJP ticket, I'm quite confident that they have understood what the BJP is. The BJP cadre has accepted them, and they are with the BJP, and definitely they will win these elections.
No,
and
Rajdeep,
BJP will
if they
form the
had
government.
any principle, those 10 MLAs are still elected on the hand symbol. They didn't quit the Congress. They didn't even resign because people had voted for them because they're as Congress candidates, not as BJP candidates. So if they had any principle, they should have made those 10 MLAs resign, recontest, and then come to power. Here, I mean, look at the way he is talking today. He is not bothered. There's no sense of shame. There's no sense of that, okay, we've done something wrong. Yes, this is part of politics. We will ensure defections. We will form governments anyhow. We know how to do it. So that's what the BJP stands today. They don't have any principles. Forget Goa. Across the country today, all they talk about is Hindutva, Ram, Sri Ram. All that is only for the sake of gathering votes. In practice, they are the most corrupt party, the most unprincipled party, and it's time this party goes.
Okay, Mr. Sawaikar, the fact is a Babush Montserrat. Your party campaigned against him and called him a rapist and criminal when he was in the Congress. You have other Congress MLAs who you called, one of who you called a Matka King when he was in the Congress. He became a MLA and a minister in your party. So when people are in the Congress, they are criminals. You brought them into the BJP and it almost seems like BJP is a washing machine. You come into the BJP and all your past sins are washed away.
That's not a question of washing machine. See, it's basically the charges are there against those people. They are pending in the court. They will face the trial. So all these things will go on. But so far as the party is concerned, so far as their candidature is concerned, they are our candidates, and Bharatiya Janata Party is with them. The cadre is with them, and they will get elected this time.
In Panjim itself, instead of Manohar Parikar's son, you have chosen to back Babush Montserrat. I mean, the message that is going on out is that for BJP, as I said, this election is about winnability. You can be a criminal, you can have a criminal record, you can have serious charges against you, you can be accused by BJP cadres itself of corruption. But as long as you can win an election, sab saath mein aao. This has become a Shivji ki barat, the BJP. The new BJP, anyone is welcome as long as they are electable.
नहीं, ऐसा है राजदीप, ये शिवजी की बारात नहीं है. ये जो लोग यहाँ पे कॉन्टेस्ट करना चाहते हैं, उनका उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में उनका क्या माहौल है, आर द पीपल विद देम, आर दे गोइंग टू इलेक्ट देम. वी हैव डन एवरीथिंग, एंड ऑफ ऑल इंक्लूड आफ्टर एंटायर एक्सरसाइज, दिस पीपल दे हैव बीन ऑफर्ड द टिकट्स, एंड डेफिनेटली दे विल गेट इलेक्टेड.
You know, while you attack the BJP for welcoming virtually every old congressman into the party, you accepted very happily Michael Lobo. The same Michael Lobo, when he was in the BJP government, you attacked him again, corruption, land grabbing. Today, Michael Lobo has become one of your star faces. So in Goa, nobody doodh se dula hua hai, Dinesh Gundurao. Today, you, in the opposition, you can attack the BJP, but you have also practiced the same kind of defection politics.
Rajiv, there's a big difference. These MLAs who defected from Congress to BJP, defected to become ministers to get into power. Today, Mr. Michael Lobo has left the BJP, joined the Congress, and is contesting elections. And he's taking on the might of BJP. Today, we know how vindictive the BJP is. You know how they operate, how they operate from Delhi. So he's taking a risk also.
No, he may be taking a risk, but Dinesh Gundurao, when he was in the BJP, you all were linking him to land grabbing that was allegedly taking place in Kalangut. Now, when he has joined you, you are saying that he's your new hero.
I am just saying he's not a hero or a villain. In politics, he has taken a decision, he has joined us, and yes, see, we are not living in a perfect environment. But the Congress has tried to achieve a situation where we clean up the whole politics of Goa. So we've got candidates like Captain Viriato, we've got Elvis Gomez, we've got Olencio, we've got such people also as candidates.
So you're saying this is a new Congress?
This is a new Congress, and we have shunted and closed the doors. One of our MLAs, Mr. Reginaldo, he wanted to come back. I said, we're not giving you the ticket.
The one who defected to the Trinamool Congress, when he wanted to come back, you said no to him. We said no. So you will not accept defectors?
We will not accept defectors even in the future. Tomorrow, even if we have to form a government, we will not take defectors and form a government. We will form a government on our own strength and with the people's mandate.
Will you join hands with the Trinamool Congress, MGP, Aam Aadmi Party if you fall short of the magic figure of 21?
I am confident of getting a majority.
If you don't get?
See, in politics, alliances can take place. Coalitions can take place. But that is a situation, when it happens, we will take a decision.
Okay.
Because we want to keep BJP out. BJP should be kept out of Goa because they have corrupted Goa. And he is talking about giving good administration. His own ministers have accused their own ministers. Mr. Babush has accused another minister of taking money for jobs. It's an 80 crore scam, one minister says, and they've been given tickets. So what kind of a government have they run?
Mr. Sawaikar, I interviewed the governor of Goa, former governor Satyapal Malik. He on his own said there is corruption in everything in Goa, and specifically mentioned the Pramod Sawant government. This is also Satyapal Malik, appointed by Narendra Modi. So he's not a Congress figure, he's a BJP figure. The fact is, Babush Montserrat has accused your own minister, Mr. Pauskar, of a job scam. These are all your own. Your minister, Milind Naik, accused in a sex scam. You've gone and given him a ticket. You remove him as minister and then give him a ticket. What is the message? The message seems to be that the BJP, as I said, will take anyone who can win an election, no character certificate required.
You see, so far as the people who are occupying the constitutional positions are concerned, I think it's bad for, I don't want to comment on those issues. But so far as the tickets which have been offered to, there were, as you said, that there were some accusations against some ministers. That concerned minister, he is not contesting the elections, he's contesting as an independent candidate, one thing. So far as you said that about Milind Naik, he resigned from the cabinet. Later on, he has been discharged by the charges that were against him after the investigation that have been dropped against him. So I think taking into consideration all these factors, the tickets, they have been, their candidature has been taken into consideration, they have been offered the ticket.
Okay. In conclusion, I want to ask both of you. You, Mr. Sawaikar, first. Are you confident of actually getting a majority in Goa, or are you looking at a post-poll coalition?
I'm quite confident that we are forming the government with full majority.
Full majority,
Full
so
majority.
more than 20 seats. Dinesh
21
Gundur,
seats, more than 21 seats.
more than 21 seats. Dinesh Gundurao, are you going to be back in Goa on March 10th, sitting in the same hotel where apparently last time deals were struck between the BJP and the smaller parties and you did not get a chance to form a government? This time, are you also ready, as some are saying, with money bags?
See, we are very clear that what happened last time will not be repeated. And I am very confident that we will get a full majority. And the only thing that BJP is trying to do in this election is they know that they cannot win on their own strength. They want to see that the votes are split. The anti-vote of BJP should get split.
But that may well happen.
No, but
Between Aam Aadmi Party, Trinamool, Congress,
but
and the Congress,
but
the anti-BJP vote gets split. BJP wins
that's
by
the
default.
that's the only strategy. And I am very sure now, looking at the way things are changing on the ground in Goa, the momentum has shifted towards the Congress, and every day we are gaining strength, and we'll get a clear mandate, and we'll form a good government, a stable government, and will change the face of Goa in terms of progress and development.
We leave it there because clearly in small constituencies of Goa, anything can happen. And you never know which way the election will switch. Many will say the real election begins on March 10th after the verdict, not so much in the run-up to March 10th. Mr. Sawaikar, Mr. Dinesh Gundurao, pleasure having both of you joining us on the big face-off. Goa's party number 1. We'll wait and see who wins that battle. Thanks for joining us. You're here on the India Today Roundtable from Panjim.